just tell you briefly about the book chain. The idea is that we invite someone famous or influential, like Idris here, to share 3 titles from their bookshelf. Books they admire, books they love, books which change their lives in some way, change the way they think or they see the world. One we want to be a book from their past, one we want to be a recent book, and one, the third, we want to be a book that they would recommend to a friend. And then they nominate that friend, the next in the series, to come along and talk about that book and about other books. Okay, so you brought 2 books, you recommended 2 books, I've got them with me here. Tell us about the first, the one from your past.
The first one is a book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. I'm typically one of these people that, avoid sort of self-help type books, stuff that gives you that, third eye knowledge, but this book articulated an idea in my head that I kind of grew up on and exercised, but without any sort of formal articulation. And it really kind of helped me put certain things into perspective.
Generally, this is something I know that exercises you. Has the playing field got leveler for Black and Asian British actors than it used to be? That brings us to another book written by an author who certainly believes that, in the case of his country, there is an awful long way to go in this respect. So tell us about that book.
So yes, Tanache Coates, a book called Between the World and Me.
Race, as he puts it, is the child of racism, not the father. This is a deeply racist society. You've worked in America, you worked in Baltimore. Do you recognize that?
I can walk into a restaurant with an English accent and get a smile and a wave and maybe even a seat because of my accent. His experience in the same restaurant may not even be the same. So it's definitely, an eye-opener for me when I read the book.
So you have kids. If you were to sit down and write something for them, what would the most important thing, the most important lesson you would want to convey to them be? To come in, anybody wants to, yes. Someone very, very quick and eager.
As a dad raising a young girl, one of the scariest things is seeing my daughter not sure in her own thought pattern. And that's scary, because I know someone else can come in, a man especially, and go, you don't know? Let me tell you. For me, it isn't just about standing up, making speeches, and sort of crying about, let's have more black people in wheelchairs on TV. We have to do something about that. We have to either try and influence the thinking, the people that make the television, and also the content itself. I think that would be a mistake. How would our children ever understand slavery if it wasn't for films like 12 Years a Slave? But I do believe that there needs to be a movement of thought.
You've got one more book and you're supposed to recommend a friend to come and talk about it here on the next occasion. Who's the friend? Who's the friend?
But I'm actually going to nominate Una King. Una King,
Popular choice.
I'm so impressed with Una. I think she's an amazing woman, works really, really hard, and has an interesting perspective on film and television. I've been working with her recently, and it was not about film and television, but as I got to understand why she fights for diversity so hard, it's because she's an avid fan of film and television and literature. And I was just, I listened to her and I'm like, wow, you're very impressive. So I'd love for her to come in here and speak to the members here, because she's someone to see for sure.
We look forward to it. Idris Elba, thank you very much.